Hello, and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. We are now in the second dungeon of the Heavensward expansion, Sohm. It's a level 53 dungeon that sinks to level 54. As I previously stated in the Dusk Vigil video, all of these dungeons have a 2-level range. And really any leveling dungeon from here through Stormblood will have a 2-level range. So, since this is at the same level as the Ravana trial, I'm going to have the same new ability that I had in that trial, and that is Ruin 3. When the Heavensward first came out, Ruin 3 was actually a separate ability from Ruin that was cast at a much higher cost with a not quite so extreme raise in potency. It was basically is it really worth it to put out, to spend that much MP for just a little bit more damage? Now, when combined with the Dreadworm Trance ability that you get at level 58, it actually was a very worthwhile spell, but only in very certain circumstances. But with the release of Stormblood, they set it up so that Ruin 3 replaces Ruin when you hit level 53. Alright, so in this section right here, the most important thing to do is to target the Drakespur. It's the Drakespur that's going to be launching those pollen clusters that are going to poison everybody and give everybody a general bad time. Once the Drakespur is out of the way, then you can worry about taking out everybody else. Throw in all of your favorite AoE attacks. And don't completely fumble up your new button configuration like I just did. I could have used another Pain Flare there. You'll notice that, and I may have mentioned this during Dusk Vigil, you may notice that after you get Pain Flare at 52, you can never get your Ether Flow stacks back fast enough. You're always going to be burning them quickly. There will be times, however, when knowledge of a certain dungeon will prompt you to save your Ether Flow stacks for the opportune time. There, this is what I wanted to do in that last encounter. Now, there is another Drakespur here later on in the fight, but there's also more ads around that, and since the tank isn't actually picking up those ads, we're going to go ahead and take down the Flying Killers first. Then when the tank goes into the other part of this room, we'll pick up the Drakespur at that time. But again, as long as the Drakespur is up, these pollen clusters are just going to keep spawning. So, you always want to get rid of the Drakespur first. Now, the tank's not picking up anything else in this room, so I'm going to go ahead and worry about the Blooming Ochu here. My dots should take care of the Drakespur. This is going well so far. Now, some tanks will try to pick up pretty much everything in that room, which, if they do take out both Drakespurs as soon as you can, getting rid of that ability to poison is going to mitigate the damage on the tank and on you quite a bit. Once you're through the section of the Drakespurs, here we are at the first boss. Now, there's a lot of mechanics that can be done on this, or you can just burn it the way most parties anymore do. So we're going to see how this works. Starting off, of course, throw all the single target damage you can on it, and stay out of any AoEs. This is actually kind of a light version of the turn 6 of the Binding Coil of Bahamut. This is a much simpler version of the Rafflesia fight from that. Now you may see an unsynced version of that when I start doing unsynced content and videoing it. Alright, if somebody gets that little yellow honey mark on top, they're going to be targeted with basically to be eaten. They'll be pulled in, and then basically he'll do a point-blank AoE that's going to eat everything in his range. This is going to put a buff onto him, and then he's going to spit everything out for a rather powerful attack that gets more powerful as he eats more ads. So one strategy is to try to take out the ads as quickly as possible to prevent him from getting buffed. Another strategy, however, is to just endure as you see you can and just fight him off. So really, a lot of groups don't even really tangle with the ads anymore. The best defense is a good offense and all that. Now, the equipment you get in this dungeon is going to be equivalent in terms of item level to the fully upgraded tome gear that you get at level 50. Now, the secondary stats on that gear may not be exactly the same, so you'll want to compare it to the gear that you have to see if the secondary stats are the ones that are right for you. For a summoner, you're mainly going to want determination and direct hit. Critical hit also is good, and spell speed is good as well, but I like focusing on direct hit and determination. Now, of course, what this means is that every dungeon after this one is going to be an improvement to your gear. Alright, in these next couple sections here, you're going to have a couple of ads to worry about, and a dragon that's basically firing attacks at us. You can see these fiery puddles that are showing up that now have to be completely hemmed in. Alright. But again, eventually the Pyro Dragon's going to come down, and you only have to actually take him down to about 50%. He'll then withdraw, and fortunately his fire puddles will dissipate at that point. Now, the next section, you'll see we'll have to deal with the same sort of deal, except this time with an ice mechanic. Yes, this is the traditional fire and ice cliche that so often permeates games like this. The ice mechanics are a little trickier to deal with. Come on, where's the caster gear? Alright, so what we're going to have to worry about in this particular room are the ice boulders. The ice boulders are going to slowly over time kick out glacier sprites. Glacier sprites will eventually self-destruct in rather large icy AoEs. After all the glacier sprites have come out, the cryo dragon will appear. Oh, there's another ice boulder. You can actually kill the ice boulder and cause it to stop kicking out glacier sprites. That helps quite a bit. This room is a nightmare if you're the tank, because keeping everything in position without getting hit by a bazillion AoEs is a challenge. But the cryo dragon, like the pyro dragon, once you take down the half health, will withdraw. Now we just have one more trash pull to go before the second boss. Ruin 3 looks a lot cooler than Ruin 2 as well. Alright. Just in time for me to get my ether flow stacks back. Alright, now there's some very important mechanics to worry about in this particular fight. And it really has to do with the slimes that appear and the color of the marks that will appear over your head. So the majority of the fight is pretty straightforward. Just fight this guy like you'd fight pretty much anybody else. Eventually, however, a bunch of slimes are going to appear. Now, the red and the blue slimes you can basically ignore. They basically serve as fodder for the boss's next series of attacks. So the blood of the mountain and the room of the mountain, you can basically ignore. He's going to eat these slimes, and he's going to do an attack corresponding to the slime's color. Somebody's going to get marked. If you see a red mark, stack up on the player with the red mark. The attack's damage will be split between all the players that are stacked. If you get a blue marker, that damage does not get split, so you want to get away from everybody else. So he's just eating a blue one, somebody will get marked with blue, blue stays away. Now he's going to eat that red one. Somebody will get marked with red. Everybody stack up on the red. So that's all you have to worry about with the blue and the red slimes. Now, next set of slimes are going to appear. There's going to be a green slime. The green slime must die, and it must die right away. There it is, the Chime of the Mountain. The Chime of the Mountain casts an ability called the Last Song, which you might remember from how it nearly wrecked us in the five-headed dragon fight in the World of Darkness. It does a lot of damage, and I don't remember if this particular version silences us, but it does a lot of damage, so you don't really want that to go off. So kill the green slime, but here you're going to get the blue and the red markers again. There's a red marker, stack up. So again, red marker, stack up, blue marker, get away. Now we've almost got him, so we won't have to worry about another slime phase. And that's really all you need to know about that guy. Again, one more time. Blue marker, get away from everybody. Red marker, everybody stack up. Oh, some earrings. I'll roll on those. Blue marker, get away. Red marker, everybody stack up. Kill the green slime. And other than that, just standard boss mechanics. Alright, we are now in the third and final section. Alright, I need to start using my hate mitigation techniques. There are things that really, up until this point, I really haven't had to use. So I have been neglecting to use them. But I really shouldn't. Diversion. Use it. It's great. Alright, now, if you recall, there were a couple of dragons that we only fought down to 50%. And you may be wondering where they went. Well, don't worry, we're going to see them before long. I figured the tank would probably tank the Wyvern out here. So once you climb up those stairs, you trigger a rather intense encounter. That can be quite the adventure for inexperienced tanks. I know it was for me. Alright, so actually this might trigger when the Wyvern dies now that I think about it. But if you're down the stairs, the Ergo Dragon won't fight you right away when he lands. Oh look, you see those fire and ice techniques are back. And with them come those glacier sprites and those fireballs and all that crap. And so what that means is the Pyro Dragon and the Cryo Dragon are back. They're now the wounded Pyro Dragon and the wounded Cryo Dragon. Notice they're going down a lot quicker, because technically we already took them down to half health. And that, right there, is the last trash pull. I believe it's the last trash pull of this dungeon. Yes, it is. I'm going to say, is somebody going to get those treasure coffers? Because if they're not, I will. Alright, so now it's boss time, and this boss has some mechanics to worry about, to be sure. Roll on that. Alright, so this is Tiaman, Nidhogg's girlfriend, or consort. Are we getting some explanation? I don't need the explanation, but they don't know that. Well, let's see if they know anything. Oh, I see. We're actually putting up real markers on this. Okay, so we're wanting to bait the meteors to be. Okay. Actually, this is going to work out swimmingly, because this is going to make this fight so efficient. Because there are so many things that can go wrong if the party isn't coordinated. So the machinist who is giving this explanation is now going to get my commo. Okay, 2 is the number of the day, folks. Okay, here we go. So yes, this is wonderful the way the machinists explain it. So I mean, you can obviously read what they said, but I'm going to explain it anyway. Yeah, the tank wants the boss to be yikes. The tank wants the boss to be pointing in that direction so that it's not ruining everybody's day. Alright, when Comet gets cast, some people are going to be marked with green markers. We're all going to stack up here on the B. When the markers fade, you're going to get a shockwave. Run away, run away, run away. Once it goes off, get into a better position. Yeah, if you get targeted by Chaos Blast, you really need to move. Don't do like I did the first time. Do like I did the second time. Alright, Comet. Are you going to get marked? No. So if you're not marked, get away preemptively. There's a lot of dodging going on in this fight, by the way. Okay, when Tiamat goes to the center and becomes invulnerable, her wings are going to be targeted. So, we need to take them both out. The right wing of injury and the left wing of tragedy. And obviously continue to dodge anything that she throws at you until both wings are dead. When the wings are dead, then you resume your attack on Tiamat herself. And from here on out, it's just business as usual. You're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see anything that you haven't already seen. Dodge Chaos Blast whenever it comes out. Again, Chaos Blast is just a metric crud ton of AoEs to worry about. Keep a lookout for Comet. She's going to keep increasing the number she uses, and I think eventually she's going to hit all 3 people with it. Yep, there it goes. So everybody stack on B. Oh, that hurt. Oh yeah, we don't have a melee limit break, so we're going to have to use a ranged or caster LB. Alright, that's all she wrote. Hey, I hit level 59. Alright, so that's... he's got Ammon's hat. I think he's got the full Ammon outfit. I love that outfit. That's from Circus Tower. So yeah, the machinist gets the commo. Alright, so that's some all. The level 53 dungeon. Next, after I unlock it, we will be playing the level 55 dungeon, the Airy, and we'll learn about the level 56 ability. try Disaster, which is a wonderful move. So until then, have a wonderful day.